Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening around the world. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Blackjack. Today, as always, I'll be doing a YouTube comment section deck tech for you guys. If you're interested in having me put a deck together for you or help you tweak a current deck list, I'm looking for any of the 5 metrics in the comment section. A bracket, a budget, a commander, a theme, and any pet cards you have. Today, we have a request by the user frostmal, who is interested in dipping their toes into CDH slash bracket 5 and non-blue decks especially. Earlier this week, I made an Atali Primal Conqueror deck, kind of showcasing non-blue bracket 2 slash 345 CDH, and today I'm going to show you a bracket 5 through and through red-black CDH deck, show you that you can definitely win with non-blue cards. We have Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin. This is through and through a tier 5 CDH $5,000 deck, very expensive, but for those interested in learning more about CDH and possibly getting into it but avoiding blue, this is a great option if you're not interested in that Atali deck that I posted earlier this week. So it's 4 mana, flying, trample, 4/3. Whenever one or more opponents lose exactly 1 life, you get a 1/1 counter on him, and then you can exile the top card of your library until your next end step you may play that card. So every card in this deck is essentially looking to deal increments of 1 damage to your opponents, so you can get a ton of card advantage. When you look at the CDH meta right now, people are traditionally it's mid-range hell. Everyone is winning by getting Mystic Remora or Rhystic Study out as fast as possible, and then leveraging those to get a ton of card advantage and then win in 1 turn with a combo. What you're looking to do is basically, this is build your own Rhystic Study, build your own build your own Mystic Remora, so to speak. So every time you do 1 damage, you get to exile the top card of your library and play it until your next turn. This is, when you look at something like Firebrand Archer, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, deal 1 damage to each opponent, that's going to exile a card for you and allow you to play that card. So this is essentially a build your own Rhystic Study, in the same way as the Mage is, Avalanche is, Gleeful Arsonist, Cataract Parasite, Flame Breath. All these things are, you can seriously look at them as Mystic Study, Rhystic Remoras. Oh my gosh. Rhystic Study, Mystic Remora. I'm just going to stop saying those 2 spells because apparently I can't today. But it all is just building card advantage, okay? So, every time you deal damage, you exile a card. Avalanche is looking to do that. Power, equal number of artifacts your opponents control. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact, deal 1 damage. That allows you to draw a card, essentially. Burgi, great mana generation. It's a way to continue the party. There's going to be turns where you've cast your commander, you've dealt a couple damage, you've exiled 5, 6 spells, and being able to cast all of them by generating mana every time you're casting them with Burgi is what's going to really put you ahead of the table. Mage is dealing 1 damage. Please forgive my children screaming in the background. They're having fun. Deadpool trading card. A cool card that comes in and allows you to exchange control. So throughout the history of high-powered commander in CDH, there have been cards that people play in order to steal other people's commanders or other people's noteworthy creatures. And Deadpool is exactly that, but in these colors. It's actually an insane card. Think about being able to take a Timna and get some card advantage, and that's, you know, the lower end. And then you think about the higher end, you able to take maybe a Tide Spout Tyrant from a Kinnan player or something. It can get really crazy really fast. Dual Caster Mage to copy spells, and then Gleeful Arsonist allows you to deal damage. Goblin Engineer is going to allow you to search for an artifact. Imperial Recruiter lets you find pretty much any of the creatures in your deck. Cataract is here for, I'm just going to call all of these creatures Rhystic Studies. Rhystic Study, Rhystic Study, Rhystic Study, Rhystic Study, Rhystic Study, Rhystic Study. That should be all the Rhystic Studies. Opposition Agent, great card in CDH. You can get somebody when they're going to fetch for a land. You can get somebody when they're, hitting a tutor with demonic tutor or whatever tutor they're playing, vampiric. Orcish Spellmasters is an awesome piece to kind of control the board. Again, right now the meta is very mid-range heavy. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on the board, a lot of creatures, and being able to kind of systematically pick them off is a great way to maintain control. Prosper is going to allow you to create treasures every time you cast spells off these Rhystic Study-esque creatures. Walking Ballista as a way to control the board, and then Ragavan, just a great card in CEDH in red. It allows you to get mana quickly and is able to chip in for some damage and then cast other people's spells as well. Beseech the Mirror, Demonic Tutor, Gamble, Imperial Seal, all of it is obviously just searching for whatever card you need at any given time. Feed the Swarm is pretty much the only way in these colors to deal with enchantments, and with Rhystic Study and Mystic Remora being so popular, it's a great way to deal with stuff like that. Jeska's Will, great card advantage, great mana generation, obvious why it's here. Rite of Flame, Strike It Rich, both ways for us to get to our commander faster. In an ideal world, you're looking to cast your commander probably on turn 2. Obviously, you don't get the green package of the Llanowar elves and the Findhorn elves and the elf this, elf that, Arbor elf. Make all that mana and cast your commander really quickly, but there's still tons of ways to do it with cards like these, as well as like Ritual, Dark Ritual. All this stuff is in an effort to just get your commander out as fast as possible. Wheel of Fortune. This is a great way for you to refuel. And sometimes Wheel of Fortune's an interesting card in CEDH because there's sometimes where like you're going to keep a hand that is, let's just say for example, 2 lands and then 3 pieces of ramp, maybe like 2 of its artifacts and 1 of it's a Rite of Flame, and then some other nonsense you don't care about. It's totally respectable to play the land, play all of your ramp pieces, and then just Wheel of Fortune if you're the first player, because it's going to mess up everybody else as they've intentionally kept their opening hand, because their opening hand they think is worthy of playing and has a chance to win the game. So if you can actually deploy some mana generation and some board state and then wheel and get a fresh 7 and kind of screw up everybody's opening hands, is when Wheel of Fortune really shines. But even in the middle of the game, being able to kind of reset is a great opportunity for you. Bolt Bend is a cheap way to protect your Ob Nixilis, as well as Deflecting Swat, Flare of Duplication, Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, Untimely Malfunction. All these are ways for you to protect your commander, keep him around. He is your engine piece. He is far and away the most important thing going on in your deck. If he is not out, you are going to have an incredibly hard time winning the game. The caveat to that is he does not win the game on his own, so most people don't see him as a capital level threat on the board and probably are not going to direct their ways to kill creatures at him as quickly as something as a Seedborn Muse, for example. Cabal Ritual, Calling the Weak, Dark Ritual, more ramp. Deadly Rollick is basically a free exile. Lightning Bolt and Ghostfire Slice, as well as Fire Covenant, are all ways to deal with what's going on the board. Fire Covenant being the best. Don't be scared of paying a ton of life to just wipe the board in one go. It's usually worth it as long as you can afford it life-wise. Snuff Out is just a free kill spell, so basically another Deadly Rollick. Looking at artifacts, Agatha Soul Cauldron. So there is combo potential in here. That's part of the reason Goblin Engineer is here. But being able to exile cards out of graveyards, get those abilities onto a creature is extremely powerful. I'm not going to take 10 minutes and explain all of the combo potential, and there's obviously other ways to build it and other creatures you could look to add if you wanted to focus solely on comboing. I'm just trying to show you a baseline CEDH Ob Nixilis deck and then allow you to kind of stylize it based on your preferences. Look at tons of lists online. I looked at a couple of lists and pretty much just mashed them together to get a baseline deck that I would personally start with. But if you want to go more combo centric, you can. If you want to go more card advantage with your commander and just grind everybody out, you can. There's a few different ways to do it. You're looking at your ramp, Arcane Signet, Black Mage's Rod is another Rhystic Study, Bolus's Citadel, Crazy in any black deck in CDH, basically allowing you to cast everything that's going on. Chrome Mox, Felwar Stone, Mox Amber, Mana Vault, Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Grim Monolith, Mox Diamond, Mox Opal, Rakdos Signet, Soul Rain, Talisman. All of this is in an effort to get your commander out very quickly. Lightning Greaves to protect him. Sensei's Top in non-blue, being able to have the filtering going on at the top of your library and making sure you're getting spells that you actually want instead of drawing, you know, something like a land is great. And then in CDH, this spell gets even better because it essentially, you can do the brainstorm trick where you have a fetch land, you look at the top 3, you don't like it, you crack a fetch, and then you get to look at a fresh 3. The One Rain, probably the best non-blue card advantage engine in CDH right now. Vexing Bauble is going to shut off things like Force of Will, which obviously you don't have a whole lot of interaction for. Wishclaw Talisman is another way to tutor. Enchantments, Blood Moon is going to be great for you. You don't care about turning everything into mountains. For some, you know, you look at Timna Crom, you look at Kinnan, pretty much any CDH deck going on right now that's non-red, this is going to have a massive impact on the board. Chains of Chains. So, to be honest, I know what this card does. I can't really explain it in any short amount of time. But basically, if you are to draw a card, you have to undraw a card. I'm pretty sure. I knew what this card did like 8 years ago. And I'll let you figure it out. Google it. Necropotence. Draw cards, obvious why it's here. Underworld Breach. Combo potential like crazy. 27 lands. Ancient Tomb is non-negotiable in CDH, being able to power out your commander. City of Traders. Gemstone Caverns. I would say Urza Saga. Those are the 4 lands that in a deck like this are non-negotiable. Obviously, if you're going to build this deck, you're already investing $5,000. I don't think I have to explain why you should definitely get the other $38 you need for Gemstone Caverns. But yeah, I'm not a CDH expert. I just wanted to showcase a non-blue deck because Frostmal asked for it. This is a different way of winning the game, but kind of the same. Atali earlier this week is card advantage from other people. Ob Nixilis is card advantage because of other people, but it's your cards instead. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have some interest in building a non-blue CDH deck, and maybe, just maybe, you can put your Rhystic Study and your Mystic Remora back in your binder and enjoy a slice of life from the other side of the world. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and Godspeed.